turned up. Per request. What? Make sure I'm connect the dots. All right, so we tuned in, turned up today. Going live again. Enable. Hold on 1 second. Connection. All right, we tuned in, turned up on another Sunday. This is the first Sunday I'm back talking about Stroke Survivor Sundays, Religion. You know, it's been a long time since I ever tapped in. I appreciate everybody for supporting me throughout my life, throughout my ways in my life. And I'm back going live every Sunday, Stroke Survivor Sundays every Sunday. Today I just want to talk about being a slave to sin. Being a slave to the things that you know that's not good for you. Being a slave to the ways of thinking that you know have torn your family apart for so many years. Attaching yourself to something that you know has destroyed your generation after generation after generation. That's what today's word is today. And I got this from a friend of mine named Nate. Like this morning I woke up, and last night I was battling with some things inside myself. I was battling with a few things, and I woke up this morning. And when I woke up this morning, I was like, okay, I'm battling with these things in my life. I'm going through these issues in my life. I'm going through these things in my mind. Being a slave to sin, being a slave to, and you say, what is sin? Because, you know, we're not religious based. So what is sin? Sin is something that you know is destroying you inside. Sin is something that you know is destroying your future from getting it where it needs to be. Sin is something that you know is stopping you from going where you want to go. So when you're a slave to something, no matter what you do, no matter what you say, no matter how you feel about it, you're going to react to it. And whatever you're a slave to, you're going to be controlled by. If you're a slave to mind control from your ex, if you're a slave to trauma, if you're a slave to drama, if you're a slave to poverty, if you're a slave to disappointment, you will be controlled by those things. Who is your master today? I ask you today, who are you a slave to? Who controls you today? What controls you today? What's your master? Who really controls you? Is your mind controlled by righteousness and doing better, or is your mind controlled by the wicked things of this world? Is your mind controlled by your ex? Is your mind controlled by your ex-husband? Is your mind controlled by that divorce you suffered? Is your mind controlled by that loss you take, that loss you took, the loss you are currently taking? What is your master? In the Bible, it says you can you can't have two masters. Either you're going to love one or hate the other. So which one do you hate? Which one do you gravitate towards to? Do you gravitate towards the peace, love, and understanding? Or do you gravitate towards disappointment, fear, doubt, and worry? What controls you? On a day-to-day basis, when I sit back and look at my life, I would say that I'm often controlled by fear. I would say that I'm often controlled by disappointment. I would say that I'm often controlled by trauma. What controls you? What is your master? What are you a slave to? What controls you? Like I said, if you really look at your life, look at the decisions that you make on your day, a good day blessed. Look at the decisions you make day to day. What causes you to make those decisions? Are you making decisions based on your past? Or are you making decisions based upon where you want to be? Ask yourself that question. Are you led by trauma, or are you led by destiny? Are you led by disappointment, or are you led by love and understanding? Ask yourself that question today. When I looked into my life, that's why today's word is slave to sin. What are you a slave to? Sin is whatever that's going to enter your body or into your life and cause you not to be where God wants you to be. So what are you a slave to? Are you a slave to your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your kids, your job, money? Are you a slave to success? Are you a slave to worldly ways of thinking? That's why I want to really touch with y'all today and get in touch with y'all today, because last night I was going through it. In my mind, I was going through a lot of things in my mind, processings in my mind, and asked myself, why am I making the decisions that I'm making? Is it solely due to disappointment? Am I making decisions that I'm making because of emptiness that I feel inside? Why do I feel the way I feel? Why am I doing what I'm doing? Why am I reacting the way I'm reacting? Why am I acting the way I'm acting? It's all because I have allowed those things that I don't want in my life to control my life. The same things that you don't want in your life, you let into your life, and it controls your life. It controls what you say. It controls what you do. It controls how you look at things, your perspective, your perception. Everything that you're trying to get rid of is what your life is made of. So how can you get free if you're a slave to the things that you're trying to break free from? How can you be free if you're a slave to the things that you're trying to break free from? That's the question. Hey, what's happening? Lola, Tao, Marcus, TT, what's happening with y'all? And that's what today's word is. You know what I mean? I really had to pay close attention to my life and myself and ask myself a question. Ask myself a question like, what's controlling me? What's guiding me? Am I controlled by the things that I'm trying to break free from? So if I'm controlled by the things that I'm trying to break free from, that means I'm a slave to the things that's bad for me. I can't move, I can't think, I can't talk, I can't be without having these things around me. So that means I am controlled. I am a prisoner to these things. Hey, Swang, I believe in God. Janice, what's happening with you? I'm a slave to the things that I'm trying to break free from. So today we ask us, how do I break free from something that's holding me down in chains? How do I break free from anxiety? How do I break free from fear? Again, like I want to just explain to y'all today, sin is not a religious-based thing. Sin is anything that's going to stop you from getting what you deserve. Sin is anything that's going to stop you from getting what God wants you to be. Sin, if you don't believe in God, sin is anything that's holding you back from being free. So what are you a slave to? What's been controlling you all your life? Decisions you have been making in your life, who made the decision for you? Have you been making your own decisions? Ask yourself that question. Have you really been making decisions for your life, or has life been making decisions for you? Well, they say life be lifing. So the question I ask you, like, my life don't be lifing. I live my life. So ask yourself a question. Have you been making decisions in your life, or has your life been making decisions for you? That's the question I asked y'all today. That's why today's word is slave to sin. How many of you all feel like a slave? Every day you wake up, they whipping you, Kuta Kente style. Your job whipping you, your kids whipping you, life whipping you, anxiety is whipping you, fear is whipping you. How many things are whipping you every day to the point where you can't even see freedom? You can't even see hope. You can't even see faith down the line. You are a slave to your mind. You have subjected yourself and put yourself in the confinery that you cannot be set free from, because everything, your main existence is existed off of trauma. Your main existence is existed off of fear. Your main existence is existing off of worry. Your main existence is existing off of what is no longer. Yeah, that picture dope, right? Got the kitten looking in the water. Yeah, I'm telling you, mindset is everything. It's a kitten looking in the water, but see a lion right here. You know what I'm saying? And that reminds me every day I get up. I'm in my room, a bedroom. Every day I get up, I look at that picture. That's what I'm saying. What are you a slave to? You're a slave to whatever controls your mind. You're a slave to whatever controls your decisions. So today, ask yourself a question. What controls your mind? What controls your decisions that you make? What controls the way you feel? What controls the way you react? What controls the way you act? Ask yourself that question. What's controlling you? Who's controlling you? What's guiding you? Who's guiding you? You can't be guided by what you see. You can't be guided by what you feel. You can't be guided by what somebody told you. You can't be guided by what's no longer. Ask yourself that question. Ask yourself that question. If you are guided by something that is no longer in your life, how can you even have a prosperous, productive life? If the thing that is guiding you is no longer existing in your life, how can you be productive and move forward? If your past, if your ex, if your trauma is what's guiding you in making the decisions you're making, how can you move forward? Your whole life will be subjected towards the things that God has for you. No, your life will be subjected to the things that somebody else. You really got to understand who you are in God. You really got to understand who you are in yourself. You really got to understand moving forward, what is God doing for you? How is God blessing you? How is God guiding you? How is God putting you in a position? But if you don't understand how God is putting you in a position, therefore the only thing you understand is the position somebody else put you in. If you don't know God, the only thing you can know is somebody else. Somebody might be sitting here today, I don't believe in God, but whatever's controlling you is your God. So if you don't believe in God, whatever's controlling you is your God. Your job is your God. Your kids is your God. Your ex is your God. Your divorce is your God. Your fear is your God. Your worry is your God. Whatever has control over you is your master. That's your God. So today, I encourage you today to look inside yourself and ask yourself, well, who is your master? What is your master? What is guiding you? What is projecting you? What is bringing you where you need to be? Is it Christ? Is it God? Is it Allah? Is it Yeshua? Who is it? Is it Buddha? What is guiding you? Because whatever's guiding you, that's your God. A lot of people say they spiritual and they don't believe in God. But whatever's controlling you, whatever's influencing you, that is your God. Whether it's your kid, whether it's that chocolate chip cookie that's on the counter, them chocolate cookies in the kitchen, that's all you think about. You've been thinking about that since last night. That ice cream in the freezer, you've been thinking about eating that since last night. That's your God, man. Because that's controlling your mind, right? That's the decisions you're making. You are a slave to them chocolate chip cookies in the refrigerator. That's why I want you to understand whatever that's propelling you, whatever that is guiding you, whatever that is focusing on you, that is your God. So being a slave, what do you say? Beliefs aren't spiritual. Spiritually are actions. Whatever you believe in, whatever that you focus on, whatever that's influencing you has become your God, man. And that's what people need to understand. People really need to understand who God truly is. People need to understand what are they controlled by. People need to understand what is your God, what is your master, who are you serving, who are you a slave to, what are you a slave to. That's what people need to understand. And that's what today I woke up this morning, I'm like, what's controlling me? Am I controlled by ask yourself a question. Are you controlled by hey, Virgil, what's happening with you? Countertop, you already know what's happening. Michael, man, you already know what's happening. I had to ask myself today, am I controlled by wanting to be better and do better? Or am I controlled by all of the mistakes I made? Are my decisions that I make moving forward based upon me trying to do better and be better? Or are my decisions based upon the mistakes I made? Ask yourself that question. Are your decisions based upon you trying to make better decisions for your life? Or are your decisions based upon the mistakes you made in the past that you're trying not to make again? Ask yourself that question. Hey, G, well, bless you. I already know. Hey, you know I'm locked. Hey, I'm locked back in every Sunday, fam. I got off for a bit. I joined this ministry, joined this church. But Rashida, man, shout out to Rashida, and shout out to just my spirit. My spirit been talking to me, and it was like, bro, you got to get back saying this word, man, because people need to know God. They don't need to just love God. And hey, what's happening, Creed? What's happening with you? They don't need to just love God. They need to know God. You feel me? And at the end of the day, that's why I want to let you know today, man. Like, whatever controls you. That's how I ask myself, okay, am I making decisions based upon me trying to do better? Or am I making decisions based upon me not trying to make the same mistake? Ask yourself that question. Do you make decisions based upon you trying to be in a better position? Or are you making decisions just trying not to make the same mistake? Trying not to do the same thing again. So ask yourself, what are you a slave? Are you a slave to your past or your future? Are you making decisions just trying not to make the same mistake, or are you making decisions trying to make a better life for yourself? What controls you? What guides you? What's putting you in position? Hey, Texas Red, you already know. I appreciate that. Jesus love you too, for real. Hey, Butterfly, what's happening with you, man? Butterfly, what's happening with you? Hey, Butterfly, I'm back. We back good, so don't start nothing. So that's the question I ask you today. And that's the question that I ask everybody today watching. Have you based your life upon the decisions you made in the past? Or are you basing your life upon decisions that you're trying to make to do better? What is your God? What controls you? What are you a slave to? I had to ask myself, how can my ex-girlfriend still control the decisions I make with women? How can your ex-boyfriend still control the decisions you make about a man? That means your ex is still your God. How can your ex-wife or ex-husband control the way you feel about women or men? That means your ex-husband or ex-wife is your God. Because whatever influences you is your God. Whatever influences you is your master. How can the fact that you went broke in the past determine the decisions you make trying to get rich today? Think about that. The decisions I made to be broke in the past are determining the decisions I make today to be rich. Ask yourself that question. How could that be? You are a slave to sin. You are a slave to the things that is not good for you. But yet you want good for your life. You want God to bring you good, but yet you make decisions based upon the bad. Hey, on God, right? Straight up. You want a life that's bringing you into the light, but you're making decisions based upon the darkness you have felt in your life. You want a life that guides you and directs you and gets you where you need to be, but yet you're making decisions based upon the times you were lost, the times you were confused. Ask yourself that, how could that be? How could I be a slave to the sin that hurt me and has caused me fear and doubt and worry and caused me to lose, but yet I'm trying to make decisions based on winning? How could that be? How could that be? So today's word is, like I said, you're a slave to sin. What are you a slave to? What is your God? What is your master? Everybody who say they believe in God don't even make sense to me. That's what you thinking in your mind. People say they believe in God. It don't make sense to me. But what don't make sense to me is what you don't understand is who God is. You don't know who God is, because God is whatever and whoever that controls your life. That's what God is. Curso said, not everything is butterflies and unicorns out here, gang. Bro, what you talking about, B? I was facing 20 years in federal prison at one point in time, B. What you talking about? I was facing I was facing time in the joint. I've been in shootouts. I've been in stabbings. I've seen people unalived. I've been there, done that. I saw what life can bring you. I saw people in front of me catch AIDS, HIV. My friends die from AIDS. I know what's going on out here in this world. So again, what are you a slave to? And I got goosebumps talking about it. Because what are you a slave to, man? What are you a slave to, B? I got partners sitting right now, got life in prison, behind unaliving people, tying people up, throwing them in trunk. Fam, what I'm trying to tell you today is, what are you a slave to? Most of my partners that is no longer here with us, been chasing money all their life, chasing position and status all of their life. What are you a slave to? Chasing women all their life until they caught AIDS, till they caught HIV. Now they're no longer here with us. And that's what I'm trying to tell you today. What are you a slave to? Are you controlled by the very things that you're trying to break away free from? Are you controlled by the past? Are you spending your whole life, think about this, are you spending your whole life trying to get back where you came from? Are you spending your whole life trying to get back where you came from? Hey, Menzie, what's happening? We got London in the building, man. London on the track. We got London in the building out here, man. Yeah. Hey, where my Yugoslavian folks at, man? For real. Are you a slave to the same thing that's been holding you back all these years? Do you allow your life to be sunk in to this hole? I was just thinking about this the other day. No, I'm trying to tell you, do you allow your life to be sank into this deep hole of righteousness, this hole of wickedness, this hole of despair that you can't even crawl out of it? That has become your God. Despair and depression has become your God. Fear has become your God. You have dug a hole so deep that you can't even crawl out of it. You've dug a hole so deep that you have become a slave and chained and bound by your own mind, by your own despair, by your own anxiety, by your own fear. You have become a slave to yourself. Y'all might be watching right now. I ain't no slave. I ain't no slave. I'm free. I could do what I want, think what I want, but think about the decisions you have been making the past couple years. Are these decisions based upon what you want to do, or are these decisions based upon how you feeling? Are you allowing the things of this world to control you? Somebody used to tell me all the time, I'm happy when I get money. They used to tell me I'm happy. When you get money, you be happy, boy. Like yeah, they know I light up. When I hit that lick, I light up. And then when I don't got no money, it'd be kind of like, I'll be ready to, crash out. What is your God? I had to sit back and realize money is my God. I had to sit back and realize women is my God. I had to, as a strong man, I had to realize the things that I'm fighting for has become my God. What is your God? What controls you? When you wake up in the morning, what's the first thing you think about? When you go to sleep at night, what's the last thing you think about? When you feel in despair in your mind, what do you think about? Whatever you're thinking about, that's what you're a slave to. Whatever you feel in your heart, that's what you're a slave to. My mother was just in the hospital. She got out of the hospital, I think, yesterday. And then my sister called me, said she was in the hospital dealing with anxiety. And I noticed that, I'm not going to say nothing about COVID, but I noticed since after COVID, everybody been dealing with this anxiety. Everybody is dealing with a heightened anxiety. Anxiety seems to be the thing that is destroying people, giving people strokes, giving people illnesses and sicknesses in their body. Anxiety, fear, worry, depression, stagnation, being a prisoner where I have to wear a mask and stand 6 feet away. I'm abiding by laws as if I'm in prison. So I notice in my mind, this world has set you up to be a prisoner mentally. You need credit in order to get a loan from the bank. You need to wear a mask here. You need to be 6 feet. The world has actually trained our minds to be prisoners and take orders as if we're prisoners, as if we're slaves. This is why the heightened level of anxiety has been coming into this world, because people no longer can be themselves. They're subjected to the ways of this world because the world has trained our minds to be slaves, to be prisoners. Land of the free, home of the brave. We used to have freedom of speech, right? Pay attention. We used to have freedom of speech, right? So you know what they did? So they didn't have to go in and change the Declaration of Independence. Instead of removing the fact that we have freedom of speech, they put everybody on podcasts and online and TikTok and YouTube. And I thank God for YouTube and TikTok to be able to spread the word. But these platforms control what you say, control what you do, control what you post. So subconsciously and indirectly, they have removed freedom of speech from us as citizens. Because if I say something, remember, the only way I can communicate is through this platform. The main way to communicate is through a platform. And if you are creating a barrier in the algorithm, or if you're creating a barrier what I can say and what I can't say, that means freedom of speech is no longer. The world has trained us to be slaves and to be prisoners and no longer be free. That's why the scripture says, who the Son sets free, you're free indeed. That's why Christ, you see that, a lot of people say, hey, what's happening in my youth? What happened in you? A lot of people say, I don't believe in Jesus. I don't believe in God. I don't believe in none of that. Well, that's good for you. But for me personally, if you read the story of Christ, his life was just based on being free from the slaves, from the slavery that this world was bringing. That's what Christ's life was. If you read the story of Christ, his life was based upon being free from I'm not even going to say the name of the people, but his life was created to be free from the secret societies of this world. Read the story. He showed you a way to be free within the secret societies of this world. You might be talking, bro, what you talking about? Think about what I'm saying to you. Check this out. When Christ came, he laid hands on the sick and the sick was healed. So therefore, you became free from medicine. You became free from doctors, right? When Christ came, he fed the hungry, which means you became free from grocery stores. You became free from the sedation, from the programming that they entered through the food to affect your mind and your chemical imbalances. Think about the story of Christ. He defied the laws of gravity. He walked on water. He was showing you how to be free within this world system that we're living in. So the fact that you don't believe in Christ is showing you that you rather be subjected to the programming of this world. So today, I ask you, what are you a slave to? Think about the story of Christ. When they hung Christ on this tree, like I said, I wasn't there, so I can't tell you if Christ really was real or not. But I believe Christ is. I believe it. So if I believe it, then to me, that's good as gold. Everybody who know me, whatever I believe, that's law. They hung Christ on the tree, right? They put him on a cross, hung him on a cross, nailed him on a cross. He passed away and came back to life. So even within his life, he showed you how to be free from the laws of death, of passing away. Christ broke every natural law in order to give you a supernatural freedom. Listen to what I'm saying. Jesus Christ, Yahshua, whatever you call it, Yahshua, Jesus Christ, lived in a way that he broke every natural law in order to give you supernatural freedom. Why did they crucify Christ? Why did they nail him to the cross? Because he was showing you how to be free from the world programming. He was showing you how to be free and not a slave to sin. This world we live in is sin. So he was showing you how to be free from passing away, how to be free from damnation, how to be free from generational curses, how to be free from being hungry, how to be free from being sick, how to be free from being anxious, how to be free from despair, how to be free from depression. So they got rid of that man. And you know what they did? They told you Christ wasn't real because they didn't want you to think that you can tap into that same freedom within your own mind. They didn't want you to think that you could tap into your own healing yourself and your body. Let me ask you a question, fam, folk. If you was dealing with cancer, breast cancer, and we already know how we feel about cancer. Cancer get 2 middle fingers, straight up. If you was dealing with cancer, or your mother, your father, your auntie or uncle was dealing with cancer, and if you could walk up to them and touch them and they no longer have cancer, imagine if everybody could do that. Imagine if everybody can touch hands, put hands on somebody, and they no longer feel sickness in their body, whether it's cancer, lupus, AIDS, HIV. Imagine if you could touch your own body and be healed from whatever disease you feeling. Imagine how this world would be. You would no longer need doctors. You would no longer need medicine. So they had to get rid of that man. He was showing you how to be free from this world of sin and slavery. We wouldn't need doctors. We wouldn't need hospitals. Imagine if you can go in your refrigerator. It's another story. Jesus fed 5,000 people with 5 fishes and 2 loaves of bread. They say he took the 5 fishes and 2 loaves of bread, put it in the basket, rubbed his hands, touched it, prayed over and blessed it, and fed 5,000 people. And there was enough food left over so they could take on their trip, and they had leftovers. Imagine as a single mother, single man, as a mother, father, as a person, imagine if you can go in your refrigerator, open the door, see a jar of peanut butter and a jar of jelly and some bread. Imagine if you could open your refrigerator, because growing up, that's how it was. You open your fridge, you got bologna in there, might have some hot dogs in there. Imagine if you could open your refrigerator, close the door, bless the food that's inside of it, open it back up, and you got enough food to last you a whole year. Imagine that. You wouldn't need what then? Y'all watching this. What wouldn't you need then? You wouldn't need grocery stores. You wouldn't need the food imagine, look at the chemicals they putting in the food. Your body wouldn't be affected by the chemicals in the food. You wouldn't need grocery stores. You wouldn't need markets. You wouldn't need the factories that they produce the food with, the processed food. So that's why they had to get rid of that, man. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all today, man. Like, what are you a slave to, man? What are you allowing to control you? Imagine that. Imagine your mother just passed away, God forbid. Imagine your mother just passed away. Your son just passed away. Your father, your nephew, your niece just passed away. And you got the news and you drove over there and you touched them and say, come back to life, and they came back to life. Then we wouldn't need what? We wouldn't need funeral homes. We wouldn't need cemeteries. We wouldn't need doctors. We wouldn't need morgues. We would never mourn ever again. We would never be sad or losing nobody ever again. So they had to get rid of that man, B. Because he showed you how to be free. He showed you how to be free. He showed you how to break the natural laws to give you supernatural freedom. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all today. What's happening what's happening, everybody on YouTube land? What's happening? Philippines, we in the building, boy. Ask yourself that question. Ask yourself that question. I woke up this morning, like, I'm still tired. You know, I know y'all can see I'm still kind of tired. I woke up this morning. I was scrambling, looking for my phone. I said, I can't find my phone. I'm scrambling, trying to find my phone. And I had to ask myself, man, I'm a slave to this device. Anything that brings you despair, anything that brings you aggravation, anything that brings you frustration, you're a slave to. That's why God showed you how to be free. How can I be free from my phone? He showed you how to pray. You know what prayer does? Prayer telepathically communicates to the universe, to the frequencies, to the waves, to the energy. It telepathically communicates. So I don't have to talk to you on the phone. I could just pray for you. He showed you how to be free from telecommunication. He showed you how to be free from everything that is keeping you in bondage. Imagine your sister suffering right now, and you calling her phone and she ain't picking up. Imagine you just had a dream about your mother or your father, your sister, your brother, and they not picking up. He showed you that you can pray and meditate and send a message to your family through telepathic communication. He showed you how to be free from the telephone and how to speak through telepathy. That's why they had to get rid of that, man. And this is through my studies. I'm understanding everything that's going on. I understand how this world operates. Oh, okay. I understand what's going on. Hey, rest in peace, D'Angelo, too. I want to send that out there. Rest in peace, D'Angelo. Like everybody who know, Angie Stone played a pivotal role in my life at a certain point. Angie Stone was his, I guess, ex-wife or girlfriend. I don't even know. She played a pivotal role in my life at a certain time when I was in the entertainment industry. So rest in peace, D'Angelo. But even looking at D'Angelo, like, you know, like I was watching this story today, and I was like, D'Angelo started off in the church. D'Angelo was a preacher's son. Do you know that D'Angelo veered off and made an album named Voodoo? He veered off and made an album named Voodoo. He started participating in the voodoo. He started participating in the spirit, the same thing. He started participating in the things that kept him in bondage and captivity. If you look back at the story of his life, man, his second album was named Voodoo, and he used to wear the voodoo beads and all these things he was doing. And you had to sit back and look at your life, man. This world is set up to bring you into slavery. This world is set up to bring you into inferiority. That is why they don't want you to believe in God. That's why they don't want you to believe in Christ, because within God and within Christ is freedom from the natural laws of this world. And my man, Bogo, what's happening, man? I appreciate the love, man. Hey, Three Little Birds, what's happening? Happening with you? It says sometimes your thoughts are not yours, just picking up on telepathic information communication. Exactly. Exactly. And that is why they don't want you to pray. That's why they don't want you to believe in God, because they want you to have to call everybody, talk to everybody. But what happens? Let me tell y'all something. The same things that you holding on to, the same things that you can't live without, the same thing they have programmed you to make a daily routine. What happens when they take that away from you? The same things that they tell you can't live without. What happens when they done trained you to have a phone every day? What happens when this world shut down and have a massive shutdown and all the phones shut down? Now you're a slave to that phone. Now you got to move how they tell you to move. What happens? What happens when this world system have got you addicted to something that you can't live without, and then take it away from you? Then what happens then? What happens? What happens when they make smoking legal and then they turn around and make it illegal again? Then what happens? You've been so addicted to something, now you can't get it. You're going to go crazy. That's why Christ was showing you how to be free from the bondage of this world, how to be free from your ex, how to be free from your ex-husband, how to be free from your divorce, how to be free from fear, anxiety, doubt, and worry. This is why Christ came. That's why Christ came. And like, I'm not a religious person, by the least. I'm not a religious person at all. But I do believe in the teachings of Christ. I do believe in that God is real, because the only way I could see God is real is how else can I get freedom? You said we better start reading and learn to live in our own peace. That's the thing about it. A lot of us don't even know what peace is. You say, well, I'm speaking like a religious person. If I'm not religious, I'm speaking like a person who got some information, got some knowledge. It ain't got nothing to do with me being religious. It got me doing with having some knowledge in my mind. It's about having knowledge in my mind and understanding. The world wouldn't want me to believe there's a God, because they want to be my God. Y'all wouldn't want us to believe there's a God, because you would want to be my God. You would want to give me the new iPhone. And I need that iPhone so bad that I'm willing to do anything for it. I'm willing to spend $1,600, $1,700, $1,800 for it. You want me to believe in you as a God, whoever watching. You want me to make basketball players a God, a rapper a God, a singer, an actress a God, that I'm always scrolling and looking at what they doing. You want me to believe God ain't real so you can be my God. You want to be my God so bad. That's why you don't want me to believe in God, because you want to be my God. You want to make me feel like God ain't real because you want to control me. Hey, what's happening with you, man? What you call knowledge, the rest of us call indoctrination. I don't even, like I said, bro, I don't even know what you're talking about. For me, I don't have a religion. I don't believe in a religion. I believe in lifestyle. And the only man that I know, the only story that I know that showed me how to break free from the world laws was the story of Jesus. Ain't nobody else do that. That's the only story I know that, whether it's real or fake, the only story I know to show me how to break free from the world's laws was Jesus. He the only one that raised the dead, the ones that passed away. He's the only one that walked on water. He's the only one that was unalive and came back. He's the only one that healed the sick. He's the only one that brought the people that passed away back. If it's true or not, who knows? But he's the only person to break the law, programming the law of this world to give me supernatural freedom. The only person. I don't have I don't have a religion, B. So I don't want to waste your time believing in, I don't want to waste your time believing in things that don't exist. I don't want to be a deity myself. Why would I want that responsibility? I especially don't want to be your deity. Bro, you obviously want to be my God by telling me that what I'm thinking ain't right. Because only God can tell me that. Listen, everybody got something to say about your life. Everybody trying to control how you feel and what you thinking. Obviously, they want to be your God. You obviously want to be my God by telling me what I'm doing ain't right. So I'm not going to let no man be my God, bro, because you had no control over me. And that's why I believe in the story of Jesus Christ. I ain't going to hold you. That's why I believe in the story of Christ Jesus. You want to know why? Because Christ Jesus is the only being to show me how to be free from the ways of this world. Everybody else joined in the ways of this world. He the only one to show me, bro, when you're hungry, bless the food and you can have multiple. He turned water into wine. People passed away, he brought them back to life. People were sick, he healed the sick. Like, come on, B, he showed you that within this world, you can still be free from the laws of this world. Imagine if you woke up today and had no money in your pocket and you got on your knees and prayed and blessed the penny that you had in your pocket, and he turned that penny into $1 million. You will no longer be subjective to the ways of this world. The reason why they don't want you to tap into that power that Jesus had, because they want to be your God. They know as long as they can keep you broke, as long as they can keep you in poverty, as long as they can keep you anxious and in despair and in anxiety, you're going to need and do whatever they tell you to do. They want to be your God, man. So for those who don't believe in God, I want to let you know that the people that told you there is no God, they want to be your God. That's why. So you can tell me what I want, but if I dare to try to tell you what you wanted, you will call me a liar. You're not a liar, you're just ignorant. It says Jesus is a mythical creature like Superman in your time, Superman. Let me tell you the difference between Jesus and Superman. Superman was a slave to this world. If you look at the story of Superman, let me tell you why Jesus ain't like Superman, for those who watching it. Superman did everything he did for Lois Lane, a love of his life, a woman who never really wanted him, right? Superman lived his life for a woman who never really wanted him, right? He was a slave to Lois Lane. Superman also cared about what everybody thought about him. Every Superman I watched, he always got a problem with what the world think about him. Superman did not live to his full capacity and capability because he was worried about hiding himself from the world. That's why Jesus and Superman ain't the same thing. And you know what's funny? The world want to tell you that Jesus is not real, that Christ is not real. But you want me to be more like Superman. You want me to be like you. The world wants me to, as a youngster, want me to look up to Superman, a man who was hiding his powers, a man who was subjected to the world, a man who was chasing this woman, a man who limited his powers and expectation for a woman. So as a man, you want me to be a Superman? But my weakness is a kryptonite? Ain't nothing too super about that, B. You ain't too super. If you could fly and shoot lasers out your eyes and lift up everything, but this little rock had you this little rock got you wheezing for breath. Come on, man. You're not super. You ain't nothing super about you, B. It should change his name from Superman to Stupid Man. Say what? It said, man, you haven't read enough comic book. You sound crazy. Superman, they should change his name from that S on his chest means stupid. It said human ambition is out of alignment with the divine intent. Hey, I'm just telling you, those that deny Christ, that fear that which created them, power of their life. At the end of the day, man, a lot of people, hey, Rashida, for real, anybody who had experience with Christ will know that Christ exists, you know what I mean? And like I said, if you don't believe in Christ, go read the story about it. Go read the story and ask yourself about that story. And while you're reading that story, I want you to pay close attention to how his life was. I want you to pay close attention how everybody wanted him to be subjected to the laws of this world, and he fought to be free from this world, to teach you that you can be free from this world, free from sin, free from the masters of this world, and no longer be a slave and subjected to this world. So that's all I got to say for real. It said, how can I fear God if I don't believe God exists? It's like saying you fear Lex Luthor. Y'all getting carried away with the Superman thing. I used to look up to Superman until I started studying Superman. And Superman is a punk. And they want me to be like Superman. Superman is a weak, and they want me to be like Superman. They want you to be like Superman. They don't want you to believe in God and Jesus, but they want you to believe in Superman. They don't want you to believe in God, but they want you to believe in Santa Claus. A fat white man that's traveling on a chariot with reindeers. Them reindeers ain't that strong to carry that fat man. The reindeers can't be that strong to carry that fat man across the world. But you want me to believe in a man flying from house to house, dropping gifts off, but at this house, because they're rich, he drops off bikes, mopeds, basketball goals, Louis Vuitton, Gucci, Prada. But at my house, he dropping off Dollar Tree toys. He's dropping off old Nintendo games. He's dropping off a Nintendo system that came out from last year. But the house next door, they got the brand new Nintendos, the brand new PlayStation. But I got the old Nintendo games. That's what you want me to believe in? That's what that's what y'all, this the world that y'all want to believe. Y'all, this world that y'all believe in wants you to believe that a man is flying across the world, bringing your next door neighbor a brand new car for Christmas, but bringing you a brand new skateboard, a brand new bus pass. And this what y'all want me to believe? You got a brand new bus pass for Christmas. That guy down the street got a brand new Suburban. But you want me to believe in Santa Claus and Superman and Spider-Man. Hey, Superman ain't ever provide me with salvation. Superman ain't teach you nothing. That's right, Rashida. So only thing Superman taught you is how to be weak. Cause he always, in every film, he always getting beat. Every film. Hey, what's happening with you? Good day, Mona Lisa, 50. Let's call him Spider-Man or Batman or Jay. I'm just saying, like, even Spider-Man, even Batman, like, y'all want me to believe in these superheroes, and these superheroes don't mean, they all get devoured and beat, and they all weak, man. But y'all don't want me to believe in Christ, the one who was so strong that even the grave couldn't hold him. This man was so powerful that when he passed away, when they put him in the grave, even the grave couldn't hold him. He jumped up out of there. But y'all don't want me to believe. Y'all don't want me to believe that if y'all shoot me right now, that I can't come back to life. But y'all want me to believe in the Superman, Batman, Santa Claus, these hoes, these dudes. That's what y'all want me to believe in. Y'all want to be my God so bad. They want to be your God so bad so they can strip you of your power. The same power Jesus possessed. You know what's funny? The same power that Jesus possessed is the same power that you possess. Jesus was not God, our God. Jesus was our brother. The same power that Jesus possessed is the same power you possess. So the time you spend in not believing in Jesus, the time you spend in not believing Yeshua, the time you spend in not believing in God, what if I told you the same power they possess, you possess? But because you don't believe in that, you're not going to study how to be that. What if I told you the same power that God and Jesus possess, you possess, but because you don't believe in it, you're not going to spend time to study how to be that? That's all I'm trying to tell y'all today. Stop being a slave to the programming of this world. Stop being a slave to the past. Stop allowing the man that in your past to hurt you to determine how you deal with this new man. Stop allowing this woman in the past that hurt you to determine how you deal with this new woman. That's what I'm here today to tell you. It's time to break free from the things that's been holding you back all these years. It's time to be free from the things that's been stopping you from receiving the things you're supposed to have. It's time to stop being controlled and being a slave to the things that's keeping you in bondage. Three little birds, you say God is inside of us. But again, if you don't believe in God, that means you don't believe in yourself. If you believe you are God, but you don't believe in God, you don't believe in yourself, you sound stupid, man. Imagine living a life where whatever you need is in the palm of your hands. You go to the doctor, they tell you got cancer. You touch yourself and you ain't got it no more. You pass away. You pass away, you come back to life. You ain't got no food in your fridge. You touch your fridge and now you got food. Imagine living life like that. The same power of Jesus. And it's hard to even, for me to even understand that and think that. The same power that Jesus had, I have. The same power that God has, I have. So I just want to tap in with y'all today and just explain to y'all that stop allowing the world and the things of this world to become your God. Stop allowing anxiety, depression, and fear to control you, because that is your God. Stop being influenced by the things that you're trying to break free from, because that is your master. That's what you're a slave to. Somebody say slave to sin. Sin is not a religious thing. Sin is anything that's prohibiting you, that's stopping you from being and getting the things that God has for you. That's what sin is. And if you don't believe in God, if you're watching this and you don't believe in God, how can you have hope towards something? If you believe that everything you get in life, you got to work for, you're gonna burn yourself out before it's too late. If you believe that you are God, you're gonna burn yourself out before you even receive the things the universe is supposed to bring to you. You say, Alan said, what if God wants to destroy the world? What then? Well, if God wanted to destroy the world, then he would have been to destroy you. Because you in the world, right? So you wouldn't even be on this live talking if he wanted to destroy the world. How can God want to destroy the whole world? How could God want to destroy you? But every day he giving you breath to get up and talk and speak and giving you energy and giving you grace and mercy. You can't say you got grace. You can't say the things that you're receiving in life is from the work you did, because if you sit back and think about the things you did, you actually deserve worse than what you got. Me and Butterfly was talking last night. So what's funny is a lot of people give God grace and mercy and glory, right? He give God grace and mercy and glory. A lot of people give God grace and mercy and glory and praise for the things God saved them from. But you don't give God grace and mercy and praise for the things you don't even know he saved you from. The times when you was walking down the street and there was somebody eyeing you trying to rob you. And while you walking down the street, something told you to walk into this store and look into the store and look at this clothes. And because you was in the store looking at some clothes, that robber decided not to rob you, but rob somebody else. See, nobody don't know the unseen things that God has saved them from. So that's why you become anxious and anxiety. That's why you become ungrateful and unthankful and think God ain't real, because you think that things in your life ain't happening the way you want it to happen. But nobody know the things that God saved them from, the things the universe had planned for you, and God reversed it. Nobody knows. You'll never know. You'll never know the times where you're trying to get with this woman or get with this man, and you wonder why it's not working. You never know in your mind that person could have had AIDS or HIV. But because God had grace and mercy for you, he let that relationship not work out. You'll never know. That's why we don't believe in God. That's why we don't believe in grace and mercy. That's why we feel like God ain't real. That's why we feel like God ain't there for us, because we only thinking about the things we see. What about the things that we don't see that God has saved you from, that you will never know? I'm grateful for all the times God saved me and I was unaware. Imagine those times. I remember one time, this anybody from Miami, y'all know, we was a youngster out there wilding, man. We was out there wilding. There was a club called Central Espanol back in Miami. Anybody from Miami, y'all know what's happening. There was a club named Central Espanol. And Central Espanol used to be the spot, man. And it used to be loose in there, man. Anything goes in there. They was doing everything in there. So we used to serve product in there. Like my partner used to We used to come in there with you know, just a little smoke, whatever people wanted to buy. We used to bring that there to Central Espanol. Like they smoke tree, you know, whatever floats your boat, whatever you needed to take to get you high. We used to bring it to this club, right? And I was young, and this used to be our spot, man, like our trap spot. So one day, I was supposed to go to Central Espanol that night. I called my partner. I was like, bro, we going to Central Espanol, man. And I called and I was like, man, I'm tired, bro. I ain't going tonight. I said, I ain't going tonight. I went to sleep, right? I go to sleep. The next day I wake up. The feds and Homeland Security raided the club that night because they had underage girls in there and they had people in there that they done smuggled from other countries and human trafficked. Imagine if I'm sitting up in that club that night with some trees on me or whatever on me. Imagine if I was sitting up in that club that night and the feds and Homeland Security raided that spot at 18 years old. Imagine what would have happened to me. So when I tell you about God sparing you from things that you don't understand, and you say God ain't real, what's sparing you? What's saving you? What's stepping in for you? What's filling in that gap for you? What's telling you, don't go. Stop. Turn here. Turn there. What's telling you? Because if I was in that spot that night, I would have been probably in prison at 18 years old. How did I know it was underage girls in there? How did I know there was human trafficking going on? How did I know? So what I'm trying to explain to you today is sometimes God took something away from you to spare you from the pain that could have been coming. And for those out there who don't believe in God, like I said, you really gotta pay close attention to what God is saying to you. You know what I mean? And that's all I could tell you. There's many times, plenty of times things happen. I remember one time I was in the club, because like I said, I used to live a strip club life. I used to be in strip clubs. Because in Miami, that what it was about, Miami was about strip clubs, money, status, and some gangster stuff. That's all we did was gangster activity. So I'm in the club. I see this guy watching me in the club. I get up. I walk, I pump fake a move like I'm walking outside. He gets up to walk outside. I walk outside. I walk like by the door. He leave out the club. I go back inside the club. My spirit was telling me, hey man, be careful. So I leave. So I leave. I waited a few, like another 30 minutes, an hour. I go outside, you know, my eye on the swivel. I jump in the car banging. What I'm trying to explain to you is sometimes God is speaking to you telepathically. And whatever that thing is, like you say, if you don't believe in God, I feel sorry for you. But that don't mean that God don't exist. Whatever that thing that's talking to you and telling you, hey, do this, do that, do this, do that. They're trying to set you free from the slavery that you're about to encompass. The slavery of bondage, the slavery of pain, the slavery of trauma, that slavery of decrease, that slavery of poverty. God is trying to set you free from that. That's why he's speaking to you. That's why he sent messages to you to set you free. But if you don't believe in God, if you don't believe in Christ, how can you be free? That's all I'm saying today. Like, you have to really start thanking God for the things that you did not see that he saved you from. You got to thank God for the things that you did not see that he saved you from. The people you did not understand their intent, and he stopped you from connecting with them. The woman that you was trying to smash and knock down, but you just didn't get around to it, and he saved you from catching AIDS, STDs, and I'm gonna give y'all another story. I got stories, man. Do you see the look on my face? I done been around, B. one day I was at this late woman house, and anybody who know me, I like women with curves. I like curvy women. I take a skinny woman, but I like a little lady with curves. You know what I'm saying? Like curves, like a racetrack. You know, when a racetrack you turning and racing, that's kind of woman I like. I like women with curves and corners. I like to bend them curves and corners. You know what I mean? I like to bend them. You know what I mean? Bend them. But I'm at this woman house. Rashida, you already know I like to bend them curves. So I'm at this woman house, and she was a thick Jewish white woman. Thick white woman. I mean, she was thick hips, butt, thighs, pretty feet, everything. So I'm at a house. So I'm about to get it, fall into sin. Rest in peace, Solo, man. My partner Solo. I'm about to fall into sin with this woman. This woman, she said, I got something to tell you. While I'm in bed with this woman, ready to fall in sin with this woman, she said, I have something to tell you. I said, what? She said, I have herpes. And I'm laying in the bed like, what? She said, I have herpes. So I immediately rolled to the other side of the bed. Like, hold on, what you mean you got herpes? You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to figure out what you mean. What is that? Like, ain't no way. She said, I have herpes and it flare up every now and then. And so I said, what if I put a condom on? I definitely got up out of there. I ran up out of there like Carl Lewis. I ran up out of there like, what's her name? Sanitra Richard, whatever her name, boy, I ran up out of there. But she told me she had herpes, right? And I thought to myself, what caused this woman to tell me that she had herpes? If she did not tell me that, I was going to have relations with this woman unprotected. So what caused this woman to tell me she had herpes while we're in bed? I knew this woman for 2 or 3 months at this point. She never told me she had herpes. What caused this woman to tell me she had herpes in the bed about to do something sexual? If you don't believe in God, whatever told her to tell me that can only be God. So I'm here today to tell y'all, stop being a slave to sin. Due to sin, due to me sinning, listen to me now. Due to me living a lifestyle of sin, I was about to put myself in a position to catch an STD, herpes, because I was going to go in unprotected. I was about to put myself in a possible position to catch herpes in the bed. But because I believe in Christ, because I believe in God who sets me free from sin, whatever spirit that came to her and told her to tell me she had herpes set me free from that. And the next morning I got up, I didn't want to be disrespectful. But when y'all laying in bed and put that sheet between you and the person, like when you put that line between you and the person and you try to put that sheet there to separate y'all, I put a thick piece of sheet right between us while we sleeping. Cause that ain't about to jump on me while I'm sleeping. Yeah, keep that herpes over there. And I got up out of there. You said what you told her to leave. I ain't tell her nothing. I got up and left. I got up and got up out of there. I ain't had to. And then after that, she saw I was a little distant. But it kind of scared me. I ain't gonna hold you. It kind of scared me because I think about in my life, how many women did I sleep with that had a disease and God's freed me from? Thank God I never caught an STD. I don't have no disease. But how many women that God spared me from that I didn't know had? How many men that God spared you from that you didn't know? A woman that God spared you from? So I'm here today to tell you that when Christ wants to set you free from these things, that's why Christ teaches you about sexual purity. He teaches you about freedom. He teaches you what to eat, how to live, how to guide yourself, because he wants you to be free from the things of this world. The last time I've been tested for AIDS or HIV was Last test I had was 3 weeks ago. I don't have HIV. I don't have AIDS. Thanks be to God. But like I said, I know a lot of my friends, my homegirls, I have family members and homeboys that died from AIDS, that have AIDS currently, HIV currently. And this is what I'm telling you. Christ is trying to set you free from these things. So a lot of times you think a church or religion or Christ or God is trying to keep you in bondage. A lot of people think religion was created to keep you trapped. In reality, if you read the story of Christ, you read the story of God, it was created to keep you free, not trapped. It was created to free you, not enslave you. That's why they don't want you to believe in it, because they want you to be enslaved. God is trying to protect you. That's right, God's child one. God is trying to protect you from something, not provide you with something. And this is the world we live in. Yes, I'm more logical. You are not more. Hey, listen, everybody in the YouTube chat, hey, stop going back and forth with Ifa, because Ifa, he don't know what he talking about, B. So stop going back and forth and listen to what I'm saying before I block y'all off the chat. And that's just what I'm trying to tell you today. You got to pay close attention to the things that's going on in life, because if you don't pay attention to what's going on in life, life will control you. Sheba, baby, what's happening with you? God's child once said, he puts laws in place because he loves us. He knows the enemy is trying to unalive, steal, and destroy. And that's the whole purpose of it. The whole purpose is really understanding who God is. That's why I say today, God told me, hey, Queen Zeta, what's happening with you? God told me today to talk to people today and tell them it's time to get to know God. It's time to get to know God. It's not good enough to love God. It's not even good enough not to believe in God. It's time to know who God is, because once you know who God is, then you could be free. And once you're free, you're no longer subjected to the laws of this world. And once you're free from the laws of this world, then you can practice freedom. You can practice life. You can practice prosperity. You can have financial healing. You can have physical healing, spiritual healing, mental healing, and emotional healing. Once you know how to set free from your past, from your trauma, once you're no longer a slave to the ways of this world. So we tapped in, man. Like I said, man, I'm back doing Stroke Survivor Sundays every Sunday. Make sure y'all share my page, subscribe to the YouTube channel, like, share, subscribe. Sheba Baby said, do you believe God is inside of us? I believe God is all around us, inside of us, around us, on top of us, beneath us, left of us, right of us, front, behind. God is everywhere, around, all the time. That's what I believe. How could God be in? See, a lot of people believe that God lives inside of you. How could God live inside of you when your thoughts are wicked, when your thoughts are evil, when you're battling depression, fear, doubt? How could God live inside of you if you're battling anxiety? The scripture said, where God is, there's perfect peace. Where God is, there's perfect peace. Where God is, there's no wickedness, there's no evil. So if you don't have peace, God is not inside of you. Sheba, did you just hear what I just said? Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there's perfect peace. If you don't have perfect peace, then obviously the Spirit of the Lord ain't living inside of you. And this is what you got to clearly understand. You got to really focus on what God have. Yes, Sheba, you better listen. Don't make me pull up to your house now and give you this word. That's why I'm going to give you this word. Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there's perfect peace. And if you don't have peace, that's because the Spirit of the Lord ain't there. And instead of you trying to find where God is, you need to first find out who God is. Instead of you looking at trying to find where he at, find out who he is, who God is, who your mother and father in heaven is. Who's the mother in heaven? Who's the father in heaven? Find out who God is before you can really find out who you are or where God is. And once you find out who God is and know who God is, then you will know who you are. Once you read up on God and Jesus and see the power they possess, then you too will realize and understand the power you possess. So today I'm sending love, peace, understanding, and commitment to everybody. I'm out of here. I send love to everybody. And tap in with me every Sunday, 10 to 11:30. I'm back doing Stroke Survivor Sundays because the Spirit of God told me the time and back to do it. So let me do it. Some Sundays I might go to church. I still go to the church. I might go there. But God quickening my spirit to get back to giving the word out there. So, hey, Rashida, blessing. Thank you for the encouragement. Rashida, to keep pushing forward and knowing that everything I'm searching for, and I want to tell you this too, everything you're searching for, God already had for you. So it's love and peace. Make sure y'all share the page, share the live. It's going to be a lot of things. And even if y'all see me in studios, because I'm in Atlanta, I'll be in studios rapping. There'll be stuff going on. I just want y'all to know that anything I'm doing, I'm bringing light to that situation. Because I'm not sent to come to people where the light already on. I'm sent to go where the darkness at. So that's what I'm doing. I'm going where the darkness at to shed a light. All right, God bless. Tune in, turn up every Sunday, 10 to 11:30, getting dirty. You heard me. Every Wednesday we go live, and every Thursday we go live as well, man. Y'all tap in with me. All right, we out of here. I'm going to brunch today, so I can't stay no longer, so I'm out. For sure. Bless, bless, bless. All right, YouTube land, we left. Efa, man, I could keep you in my prayers, man. We out of here today, man. Hey, Sarah, I appreciate the love. Y'all spread the live.